What up, my foxy peoples? I'm Sam.
And I'm Brian.
And this is You and Me. And the beat drops now.
Wiki, wiki, wiki.
Really? You ruined it by that.
You can take that off of there.
Okay, well, I'm going to. Yo, yo, yo!
Welcome back to You and Me.
What up, peoples? On 4th of July.
Haha.
Well, by the time you hear this, it's not going to be 4th of July, but it's
Probably
around
not, no,
that time.
but yeah. We're in the ballpark, so we're good.
We're not in a ballpark. We're in our studio.
Well, yeah. Technically.
All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys have a happy 4th of July, or had a happy 4th of July, and we hope you have a great weekend ahead of you. But for this podcast, our topic is going to be why people didn't go on second dates. There's this, is it a radio show, Brian?
Yeah.
There's this radio show that Brian listens to sometimes, and they
they do what they call a second date update, and people will call in wondering why they went on this date and they thought they had a great date, and the other person wouldn't answer their phone calls or texts and figure out why they didn't want to go on another date with them.
And so that's what the show's about. So basically, we're gonna kind of give you guys a little bit of that. I've never actually listened to the show, but Brian does.
It can be entertaining.
Yes, you will hear some of the excuses that we're about to show you. But okay, so I don't know if you guys ever canceled on a second date or because of weird things, but we're gonna tell you guys some of the stuff reason why people didn't go on a second date with these people. All right, so here's one of them. Not sure if this counts, but I ruined any shot I had of a second date because I found out the girl had a fear of spoons and couldn't stop asking questions about it. So I guess she just had a fear of spoons for some reason. I don't know. Why would you have a fear of spoons?
Never ever heard of anybody being scared of a spoon before.
Yeah, I know. Me neither. It's crazy.
That's odd.
That'd be a good podcast.
I'm scared of spoons.
There's a lot of phobias that are crazy. But anyways, yeah, so I guess he couldn't stop asking questions about her phobia. All right, another one was the reason why I didn't go on a second date with her is because she picked up her phone directly after eating barbecue wings without wiping her hands off. How do you do that? How does that happen? That's like saying you go to the bathroom and then you just don't wash your hands. I don't know. I feel like that's the same.
It kind of is,
that's just gross.
You want to keep your phone and stuff clean, so ugh.
Yeah, how do you answer the phone with barbecue?
Could you imagine having a technical
fingers?
problem with your phone? You take it into the phone place and you're like, hey, can you look at my phone? They're like, get that away from me.
Yeah, be all greasy and everything.
Ugh.
All right, another one. DJ Khaled. Just kidding. I got a chip in my windshield on my way to pick her up. Put me in an off mood, and we didn't really connect. So I guess it just put him in a bad mood.
If you have a really nice car and something happens, you get kind of ticked off. But
you're going to cancel a second date?
Yeah, why would you? Yeah.
Let that ruin it? That could have been your true love, man. No, we would never know. All right. He came to pick me up and was wearing a bowler hat and a tie-dye shirt. I didn't know what a bowler hat was, but apparently it's a hat that looks like... What generation is that?
I don't know. That don't look that bad.
But it looks like what is that, 17th century? 18th century?
Probably, yeah.
1940s?
Kind of like a cowboy hat, but not as big, if I had to guess. Maybe
it's
I'm wrong.
No, I wouldn't say like that. To describe to people, it looks like a hat from the 1940s.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So... in a tie-dye shirt, which I don't think that'd really go together at all. He's mixing now to way back then.
What if the dude's just outside the box on everything, though?
That's way outside the box.
Uh-huh.
That's just outside the complete realm. I can see why she never called back. All right. This one, I would have been the same way. I probably wouldn't have had a second date with this person. He asked me if I wanted a soda from a hot dog cart, and I said yes. He asked me to go get him one, too. Heck to the no. Lazy people.
I think that's one of my favorites. That's hilarious.
You probably would like that one a lot.
That's too funny.
That's when you hit him, girl. Heck to the no, boy. You go get me soda. Deal with that. You know exactly what the rest of your life going to be like. She tailgated the crap. Is it a different word? She tailgated the crap out of everyone, always. I had a sore leg from stomping on the imaginary brake. Yeah, you can't. I think I got bit on the lip, Brian.
Uh-oh.
See?
Uh-huh.
Ah, mosquito.
A mosquito bite?
I don't know. Something bit me. Probably a ghost. Just joking. Maddie believes her house is haunted.
Yeah.
That's funny. Which, by the way, I scared her so bad, which you'll see in the video if you watch it.
It was
On our
pretty
YouTube
hilarious.
page. It was hilarious. It was great.
Yeah, you're going to want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, tailgating, I don't know. That if you're constantly in fear of your life while she's driving, that would be kind of scary.
Yeah, it would.
I don't think I could deal with that. All right. Met online and after... Oh, I thought that said cheating. Met online and after chatting back and forth for a while, decided to meet Earl. His voice was way higher pitched than I expected it to be, and it completely caught me off guard. And I couldn't get over it. Second date never happened. I want to know, like, how high pitched would that be?
Right?
Like, is it like, hi guys, how you doing? My name's Earl. Like, is it that high pitched, or just like a little bit off?
It had to be pretty high pitched.
But I was surprised. Now, so she must have been. It could have been. Oh yeah, she met online. So after chatting a bit, so I guess she never did hear his voice until she met him.
Yeah.
You gotta call the person first before you do
What?
that.
They could have like video chatted or something too, though, right?
That's what I would think. But I am not gonna. I would never like just talk online to a person and just like
Right.
never meet him before I talk on the phone.
Right. That's yeah.
You gotta know what they sound like.
Yeah.
That way, when you find them, you match up their voice the way you previously heard. That way, you know it's the right person. So you don't get catfished. But all I can picture is like Mickey Mouse. Hey, boys and girls. I'm here for my date.
Howdy, everybody.
It's got to be like that high. All right. Another one is another reason why a guy didn't call a girl back is because she kept dragging her heel when she walked. F out of here with that crap. Only one of them? That's really weird.
Just one?
Maybe she had a lip.
Weird.
What if it was a fake leg? Like a peg leg.
She had a wooden leg.
I think you would notice that. I don't know.
Maybe they were new shoes. They weren't.
Why
used
would
to
you only
them or
drag
something.
one of them?
I don't know.
One's heavier than the other. That'd be weird. This one's my favorite. Thought Jaws was a terrible movie. Jaws isn't even my favorite movie, but come on. And that's pretty much all I could find. Every single time I tried to find the reasons why people kept... It was like long list that it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of long stories. Like the pizza one I heard on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
That was good. The guy was calling. He's wondering why this woman wouldn't call him back. So he called the radio station, and I can't remember her name, but he was talking about how the day went well. He took her out, and they had pizza, and he thought things went really well. So he kept texting her and calling her back, and didn't get an answer. And he just called the radio station. He's like, I'm just kind of curious if, you could get a hold of her and find out why. So they call her, and she's on the phone with him, and she's talking about the pizza he ordered. She's like, he ordered Supreme. And they're like, yeah, what's wrong with that? And she's like, I base my dates on the pizza choices. She's like, Supreme means that they didn't put any thought or anything into it, and that they just wanted to order everything instead of thinking about what they really want. She's like, that means that person ain't gonna go nowhere. And she was just going on about how she's afraid of his future and what his future looks like based on his pizza choice. And she's like, if he just would have ordered like pepperoni, that means they're romantic. And like
just a simple pepperoni.
Each one had like a different meaning, and she picked whether she wanted to go out with someone based on their pizza selection.
And I wonder how many dates she canceled because of that.
I don't know,
Second
but
dates.
she swears that is the best thing that she goes by. Apparently, she read it somewhere.
To me, like pepperoni would be like the first simplest pick, just because that seems the simplest and that's the most popular choice is pepperoni or meat lovers.
The guy was like, I like flavor. He's like, everything on it, I like flavor on my pizza. And he's like, there's pepperoni on it.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny because she thought that he wasn't going anywhere in life because he was a dog walker, but he was going to school, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's going to school to become a veterinarian.
Wow. That's how you misjudge right there.
Or there was another one, and it was a woman that called in wanting to know why the guy wouldn't answer her text and stuff. Apparently they had a good night. I don't remember where they said they'd met, but they went home and did some, stuff. And then they
Monopoly.
went out later, right? And they're at the bar, and the guy's like, because she wants to know why the guy wouldn't answer her phone. So he's like, well, we went to the bar, and he's like, she asked me to go get her a drink, and he's like, I went to the bar and I ordered a drink and ordered her a drink, and this guy approached him, and he's like. The guy's like, what are you doing with my wife? And he's like, I didn't know you were married. She was married. And anyhow, he threatened to beat him up and all this other stuff. But he's like, at first he was questioning it because he's like, no, I think she's single. And so he asked him like questions, and the guy could tell him everything about the house they were in, the woman's house. Could tell them everything about her that he already kind of knew from meeting her. And he had a camera in the room and told him exactly what they did in the room before they went to the bar.
Oh my gosh.
So anyhow, the whole time this woman's like, I'm not married and all this stuff.
Right, and next
on
to the dude.
On the radio, she's telling them that she's not married, and they're questioning her, and all of a sudden she kind of lets it slip out that it's like this complicated thing or something like that. And they're like, so you are married? And they're like, why are you trying to do this to other guys?
Oh my gosh.
So,
if you weren't happy with your marriage, I mean,
isn't that crazy?
Either get some therapy, try to work it out first. I try to not recommend divorce, but, if it's like that, man, the guy definitely needs to leave her, but...
I was like, man, that's insane.
That's crazy. Man, can you imagine that, just thinking, like, as your first date?
Well,
first of all, that should have been a sign. If you're on a first date and you guys are already doing stuff, before you even go to your date, like, how does that happen? I don't understand people sometimes, and I like people a lot, and I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt that everybody has their own battles that they go through, but come on.
Yeah.
You're just like, seriously, this is what... It's like that emoji where it's like, the guy's like face palming himself.
Exactly.
It's like that. When I hear about people like that, it's like, come on, are you kidding me? It's like those people like, I don't know why I can't find love, but then they do stuff like that.
So, needless to say, that guy didn't even take the drink back to her at the bar. He just kind of like slipped out the door. He's like, I'm done with this.
Wasn't there another one that it was like went to the bathroom and
There was one that the guy was wanting to know why the woman wouldn't answer his phone calls, and it was because they were sitting there eating pizza, and it was a pizza date. And anyhow, apparently, what the big turnoff was the guy, while they're sitting there eating pizza and talking, was like picking and cleaning the earwax out of his ears the whole day. I'm like, that's disgusting.
I definitely would not recommend doing that, people. That's just weird.
I mean, there's a lot of weird ones out there.
Yeah, man. Oof. I don't know about you guys, but if you ever heard of one that reason why they didn't cancel the second date, I mean, there's other reasons, like you didn't connect. Like, that's a classic one. You didn't connect with the person. You didn't find them. I mean, it shouldn't be just about looks, because they gotta have a good personality too.
Oh yeah.
You can't just be with somebody because they look hot or
right, because it could be.
If they got a bad personality, it ain't gonna be good.
Yeah, they could be horrible to spend time with because they got bad attitude.
It.
They could be super droll and boring, and
yeah, they'd be like so attractive, but then they like suck.
Yeah, you're like the only one entertaining everybody the whole night.
I say a personality definitely beats looks.
Yeah,
you gotta have a great. If a person has a great personality, I don't care what they look like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because that's more fun to be around.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm with Brian.
Oh, whatever.
Ma bazinga. Just kidding. I love Brian. He's so cute. Even though he's balding, I still love him.
My receding hairline.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. We know it was short, but it was still good.
I hopefully found it entertaining.
That's just crazy, though. Man, picking out your earwax.
Guys, don't clean out your earwax on a date.
And then deciding if you're going to have a second date because of pizza toppings? Come on. Really? Jeez. And then please don't hook up before even your date starts. Come on, people. Like, let's think now. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this podcast. Please check out our other podcasts and check out our videos that we drop twice a week.
Yep.
And thank you all for your love and support, and keep listening to You and Me. We put on Facebook that we're going to let other people decide our next podcast or the next couple weeks podcast.
Which should
hopefully
be
their topics are good.
Entertaining. We'll give the people what they want.
As long as it's not money.
Right, except for that.
All right, guys. We hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Later.
Later, alligator,
Potatoes. Oh,
fellers.
that doesn't rhyme with taters. Chicken. Alright, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Remember, my foxy peoples.
Be blessed.
Be humble.
Be kind to one another.
You and me, over and out. Yow!